know who never looks tired after a PPA match? Hayden Patriquin. And I know you're going to say, Ian, he's like 19, he can go forever. But that's not necessarily true. We see lots of teenage pros exhausted after like 2 games. No, there's something else that keeps Hayden relentlessly attacking while others are sleeping. And through AI analysis, I think I found it, and I'm going to give it to you. First, let's look at Hayden's play in a key point from last weekend's Red Rock Open. He was playing with Federico Staksrud. Hayden for a deep serve, we're keeping it short because of copyright, with a mid return, and then look at that beautiful forehand slice drop with a flick and then a roll point over. What did you notice about Hayden's movement in this point? You can see it in my computer positional analysis of this match. So first we're going to start with Hayden's awesome serve. It goes across the net like that to Alshon, who responds, and this is unusual for Christian, with a mid return. Because it's a mid return, Hayden takes the opportunity to drive it hard at Christian Alshon coming in, trying to take advantage of the fact that Christian is coming in. I wanted to make a quick point about Hayden's position between the first and the 5th shot. So we have his serve. He's right about there beyond the baseline. Of course, we got the return right there. Hayden moves a little bit for the drive. And then Christian hits the weak response, which is really responsible for why Hayden and Federico win this point. And then it's time for Hayden's 5th shot forehand slice drop, which we'll look at in the next analysis section. That's where he ends up between the 1st and the 5th. Look at that. Minimal bodily movement. All right, then Patriquin takes that opportunity to do the forehand slice drop, which lands in the middle of the court. It lands right about here. It's this forehand slice drop with a tremendous amount of backspin, which results in a short bounce and also a bounce that actually kind of comes closer to the net. Diascu really can't handle it, ends up popping it up with Patriquin to do his backhand flick really hard, which results in another pop up by Diascu. And then we have the backhand roll to finish out the point. Now let's turn to an AI rendition of Hayden's key shots of the point. The first one, and the most important, was his forehand slice drop. Here's the AI rendition. I'm going to go through it frame by frame. First key point to notice is this paddle is in front of his body. What's interesting, and you'll find here, which I've seen and I'm trying to do in my own game, is this circular motion for the forehand slice drop. It's hard to show here, but you can see how he takes the paddle down, and this part is creating the slice that you see, the backspin. He's taking it down to get that to move that ball in a backspin motion. And then the other key to see is how he brings the paddle up. The purpose of that part of the technique is to raise the ball up so that the arc is on Hayden's side of the net, so that when it does go over the net, it's falling down and making it much harder, 1, to reach it, or 2, to attack it. Now we have a rendition of Hayden's second to last shot, which ends the point. This is the backhand flick. The first thing to notice is that we have knuckles pointing at the opponent. We have the tip of the paddle being down as you possibly can make it. And then we have a nice little upward motion by the wrist. Up, up. Right here, this motion is creating that top spin, which makes it difficult for Andre Diascu to deal with. And now we have an AI rendition of the last shot, which Hayden uses to destroy Andre Diascu. This is the backhand roll. I'm sure you're familiar with this one. This is a shot in which, again, we have a knuckles to the opponent's placement. We have tip down to the extent you can. It's not necessary. It can also be more horizontal, but in this case, we got tip down, and then we just have, instead of a wrist motion, what we have is the arm going up, and that is creating the top spin to Andre's feet, which destroys him and makes the ball a winner. Now we've analyzed Hayden's play under what I call the 4 P's of good pickleball: purpose, position, placement, and process. What's the common thread in the analysis? It is Hayden Patriquin's lack of movement resulting in a winner. So what was his purpose? You could tell from his play, he was clearly wanting to hit a winner. Obviously he wanted to win the point, but he also, I think he had some ego. He really wanted to stick it to Andre Diascu. Position, Hayden Patriquin moved like 8 feet in that point and was able to win. Placement, in those last 2 shots that Hayden Patriquin did, it went right to the feet of Andre Diascu. He couldn't handle it and the ball went out. Winner. And then process, we looked at the 3 main shots that really won the point for Hayden. We have the forehand slice drop, we have the backhand flick, the backhand roll. Hayden probably used a total of 2 calories doing those shots. So watch this again. I think the key to Hayden's punishing attacks is counterintuitive. He moves as little as possible. Now you do that.